Well, I am 54. Thanks, Mike, for doing that. Tim asked me when I came in, he was like, "What's that?" I said, "Well, it's what I'm saying." He was like, "You're not supposed to have it typed out." And I said, if I don't do this, I'm going to be a bumbling idiot. So, in midsummer of 1997, I entered an old building at the corner of 5th and Castle Street. That building housed the congregation of St. Jude's Metropolitan Community Church. I had gone there at the advisement of two friends, Stephen and Dallas Vetter. How many of you were at Castle Street at all? All right. I'm going to tell a little story in a few minutes, but Stephen and Dallas had been after me to go to church, go to church, go to church. You should come to this church. You should come to this church. And I kept saying, nope, 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 nope. What no one knew at the time was that just a few weeks earlier, I had stepped into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous for a second time, not really thinking it would help any more than it did the first time. I also didn't think that stepping into St. Jude's would help me either, because I had really gotten to a point in my life where I really thought that God wanted nothing to do with me. You see, I hadn't been to church in several years because I figured, why would he want anything to do with me? I mean, look at me. look at the things I've done. Surely he's just X'd me off. I was a dismal, functioning alcoholic who had fallen too far, I thought, for even God to save. I had retreated into my own little world, knowing for sure that God, if there was one, had surely given up on me, a lost cause, a hopeless case. Adding to that, in my mind, was where I had come from. I grew up in a small town, in a small country Southern Baptist church. So my image of God was the fire and brimstone, God's going to get you kind of God. A punishing God with little regard for people like me. Because I was a lesbian. You see, I'd been told that I would go to hell, just like Marty, because there was no place for gay and lesbian folks in the realm of God. But I finally, just to get Stephen and Dallas off my back, said I would go. So I went. And there was something about St. Jude's. The people were welcoming, they were loving, and they seemed to genuinely care. But they didn't even know me. Surely, if they did know me, I thought, I would no longer be welcome. I began attending every Sunday, and slowly, along with the help of my 12-step program, I began to see a glimmer of hope. All was not lost, and God was very alive within the people and the walls of that old building at the corner of 5th and Castle Street. Just as God is alive in this building today. I became a member, and back then, I'm not sure we kept excellent records. If you look in the membership list, it says that I became a member January 1st, 1995. Well, that's truly not. That's clearly not true. But what we couldn't remember, and we couldn't find any records, so we just picked a date. That's the way it was done back then. So after I became a member and was attending on a regular basis, the pastor at the time, who was Amanda, came to me one day and told me that God had been whispering my name to her to attend the upcoming deacon class that was soon to be starting at St. Jude's. I said, I think you must be hearing wrong. Because there is no way God would be whispering my name for such a thing. But, you know how God works. So I was convinced. I said I would go to the first class, and I went to the first class, and then in the year 2000, me along with 12, I don't remember if it was 12 or 11 or 12 others, we were ordained as deacons at St. Jude's Metropolitan Community Church. And just a little side note, I made a 3-year commitment in the year 2000. And if you remember, in 2015, I retired from my 3-year commitment and became Deacon Emeritus, and I'm still not sure what that means. Being a part of St. Jude's all these years has been an incredibly huge part of my life. Through the last 20-plus years, you all have celebrated with me, you've cried with me, you've trudged through difficulties with me, you've helped me far more than you will ever know. You've picked me up when I was down, you've loved me when I could not love myself. You accepted me when I didn't even like myself, and you loved me into believing that God doesn't make trash, that God even loves me. Because all of us are worthy. Amen. We are all worthy of God's love because God is love. And that's what we do every time we get together. We share God's love. You've taught me what family is. Family is the people in your life that want you in theirs. You see, my family of origin, they don't really want me in theirs. And years of therapy and years of processing and years of friends' help, I'm at a place in my life now where I can say, that's fine. You guys are my family. You've been my family. And you will always be my family. Now, when I got married, I had another family. And Kim's back there today. That's Leslie's sister back there. And Jamie, she's a part of us. We're all family. We're just one big happy family. Family is the people in your life that want you in theirs. The ones who accept you for who you are and are willing to be there in the good times and the not so good times. And it's okay for us to disagree, and even when we get upset with each other, but we still love each other. You've taught me how to forgive, how to be strong, and how to be courageous, how to give of myself expecting nothing in return, how to face my fears, how to trust myself, and how to trust others. You see, when I walked in that day at 5th and Castle, I didn't trust anybody. You've taught me how to love, and you've taught me the true meaning of family. I've come to realize that what has happened over the last 20 years is that I've grown up here. You see, when I came in, I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't sure of anything. I was like they say you're emotionally, you're the age you are when you first started drinking. I started drinking when I was 14. So when you think about it like that, emotionally, supposedly, I was about 14. And through all the ups and downs and all the trials and all the tribulations and all the celebrations and all the love, you've helped me grow up and to be the person that I am today. All of this has been possible because of a God that loves us even when we can't love ourselves. A God that meets us where we are on our journey and walks with us every step of the way. A God that takes a small group of people that started with a church in a box and multiplies it so that those who are hurting, those who are seeking, can find refuge, just like I did. And I didn't even know I was looking. So I stand here today forever grateful that St. Jude's has been, is today, and will continue to be a part of my life, even though I'm going to be 400 miles away. I want to say thank you. Thank you for saving me, even when I didn't know I needed saved. As Leslie and I begin the next chapter of our adventure with our move to Maryland, I want each of you to know how incredibly grateful I am to have been here, to have been a part of something so wonderful, so loving, to continue to be a part of that, because I'm going to check up on you. And I'm still doing the rota, so I can do that from anywhere. I may be a few hundred miles away, but my heart will always be here with you. We shall forever be connected, because I truly believe that God carries each of us in the palm of His hand, and there is no place that I'd rather be. Thank you.